Taking this for one day, my first day of taking green kratom. I have taken green kratom already for one day. And if you're not familiar with what kratom is, it is a root that is part of the tea family from Indonesia. If you're new to my channel, my name is Eric. Hit that like and subscribe button. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a counselor, I'm none of that. I'm diagnosed with ADHD, PTSD, GAD, and MDD. I see a therapist. I lost a wife and a father to suicide. I'm a recovering cocaine and alcoholic addict. I've self-harmed before, and I've even struggled with suicide myself. I like to be able to share all the tools and experiences that I can for anybody out there struggling to make life a little bit easier. One of the things that I've started to do is try green kratom. Now, I've tried white kratom, and I did notice some effects from the white kratom. It did make me happy, but it made me lethargic. And so there's a scale of you pretty much have white kratom, green kratom, and then red kratom. Green kratom is supposed to help some with pain, and it is also supposed to help with energy and mood. So what I've noticed after taking one day of green kratom is that it's actually helped me with my bowels. It's helped me actually poop a lot. So it has cleared me out. I will say that. That is the biggest effect that I've actually noticed after the first day of taking it. Now, I understand that I am taking the capsule forms. I did get it from a head shop. I didn't get it from any direct supplier. I have done other videos on this, and people have always said, well, just try the powder itself. And the way that I know that I need it in the capsules like this. Otherwise, I'm not going to end up taking it or taking it how I want to, so that I can actually give you kind of what the effects of it have been. Mood-wise, haven't really noticed anything yet. And the reason that I'm experimenting with this is because it is part of my trial and error. I'm very big on trial and error to finding out what works for us, because what works for me may not work for somebody else. And there are a lot of people that swear by kratom. There's also a lot that I know that kratom has been a nightmare for. It is legal in a majority of the states. In some of the states, though, it is not legal. And that has to do with, even with the green kratom, along with the red kratom, it actually hits a receptor in our brain similar to opiates and heroin that our brain actually accepts and wants and thrives off of. I haven't noticed anything with this, and I am doing it with a couple different people kind of watching over me, see if any of my moods or habits start to change. And the thing that I wanted to share, of why I wanted to share after my first day of taking it, and really pretty much say, hey, nothing has happened in a sense other than the bowel movement. Like, I will say this, like, if you have your stomach is bad, like this will clear you out. You're going to lose some weight right away. And I'm not saying like, hey, take this to like lose weight right away, but I don't know if it was that or what I ate, but wow, I probably have lost like 5 pounds. That is actually the biggest thing I could say. You have to remember, whenever you're taking anything, it does take a while for your body to actually absorb it. What I've noticed is with any kind of medications that I've taken, I have to give it usually 7 days. Everyone says, hey, give it 30 days. I'm not really a big firm believer in that, because medications that I've taken like Lexapro or Prozac, I notice bad side effects within like the first 7 days. The first 1 to 3 days, I didn't really notice much of a difference at all. That's why I'm going to share with you how I feel with green kratom after a week, because the more that we share, the more understanding that people have of, I know that we all want that quick fix-it-all pill. And the reason I'm even doing the green kratom and trying these different kratom strains is because I am diagnosed with MDD. SSRIs like Lexapro, Prozac, Zoloft, those, they don't work for me very well. In fact, I get a lot of the negative side effects. When I did white kratom, it was similar almost to a way of like Zoloft for me, where it did change my mood. I was in a good mood, but I was just kind of lethargic and I didn't want to do anything. That one was designed mainly or told mainly that it's for energy and it's for mood. Well, it actually made me lethargic. So I'm really curious to see how this one does. How I'm taking it is I'm taking 4 of the capsules in the morning and I take 4 at lunch. So I actually have it online with my Adderall. I already know how my Adderall affects my body because it's a medication I've been on for a very long time. So I've just added green kratom into the mix with it just to see how it affects me. And quite frankly, like, the part of me really truly hopes that like I notice this huge mood boost, because when you have major depressive disorder and you're not getting the help from an SSRI, man, depression just hits you in waves. It comes out of the blue and it just knocks you on your ass, and it's not easy. People a lot of times will say, just cheer up, or why are you sad all of a sudden? It's like, dude, I'm not sad. Like a bad day is normal for me. It's just getting a little bit worse than normal of what I'm used to maintaining. So I'm hoping that the green kratom gives me that different effect. And I did get it from a head shop, and so like I'm never really big fan of how the packaging is on this, just because it makes it look like a psychedelic and all that, which kratom essentially isn't a psychedelic. And I get the marketing factors behind it, But I'm hoping that it does work. And, I do work out. I do have a little bit of pain and sores from working out. So I'm wondering if my recovery time with how my body feels for working out changes. So there's a lot of different things I'm actually looking to see if this is going to affect and what it's going to do for me. Because if one of these does work, like, I'm all in. One of the things that you'll find is I'm so open-minded, like even when it comes to weed, I know a lot of people that take weed over and smoke weed over benzos. And you know what, if it works for you, it works for you, because we are all different. Just like with weed or anything else out there, you do have to watch for the addictive side effects if it does have that. Where even like with weed, it does have an addictive side effect. I know that red kratom has an addictive side effect because I firsthand with a friend experienced it. So I'm very, very curious of what that is. Usually what I end up doing is I'll take this for 30 days and then I'll share if I have any detox with it also, because a lot of times there is a detox with our body if we do stop a medication, if we do stop even a different supplement sometimes, and we don't realize that. So one of the biggest things that you want to watch out for is that detox. I mean, alcohol, for example, is a detox that most people don't realize is the deadliest of all detoxes out there. That and benzos it could take your life trying to get sober from these. So seeing how the red kratom does, or the green kratom, does, is something I'm really curious about, because I am always in the search of if there is a natural supplement that will help me with my depression and help make it a little bit easier for me. Mixing it just as the powder, I'm very, very sensitive to how things taste. In a capsule, I don't have to worry about tasting this. A lot of people have said, hey, just take the powder and you take a teaspoon and you dump it on your tongue and drink water. I know how that'll do, and this will make it very mechanical for me to be able to do just in the capsule forms, versus trying to mix any kind of powder into water or into juice, or trying to put it on my tongue and drink something afterwards. I know that it will turn me off from it, and I'm really set on doing this for 30 days. Kratom isn't super expensive. I bought a capsule. There's 150 capsules for $32.99 is what the cost of it was. So it's not much more money, or it's pretty much actually less money than some of the vitamins actually that I buy. So I'm looking at it as a supplement. I'm looking to see what it does for my depression, what it does for my mood, see if it takes away any of the body pain. And even more curiously, if I'm going to detox from this, because detox is something that I'm very, very on cue for, because I know what my body is like when it is detoxing from something. I did detox from the white kratom. That actually changed my bowel movement. And I do have somewhat of a sensitive stomach, so my stomach is one of the things that is affected by my detox. So we're going to see how this does. I'm hoping that it works out. Again, it's trial and error for everybody. I'm not saying, hey, go out and get some kratom right now and start trying it. No, none of that at all. Everything I do say, you let your doctor know that you're going to be trying it. Even ketamine is a great example. I know people that are on ketamine therapy, but I also know people that have ketamine addictions. So be careful with anything that you are trial and erroring out there. And again, I'm not really a professional per se when it comes to this. I am a recovering cocaine and alcoholic addict. Those were my two drugs of choice. And so I have taken opiates before in the past, but they were actually prescribed me and I used them as they were used. How my brain kind of works, having my dad as a doctor, growing up, I was learned to more or less respect medicine and just take it as directed rather than abusing it. So curious to see what this does. I'd love to hear your guys' experience. I know the first week I'll actually be able to report back more than the fact that I probably lost 5 pounds pooping. But I'd love to hear your guys' experience. Hit that like button, comment down below, share your experiences, because the more that we share, the more that it makes trial and error easier for anybody out there going through it. Hit the description box even. In the description box, I have links to all my different social medias. I have links to the mental health Discord communities that are free peer-to-peer support. Even have links below to things on Amazon like fidget cubes, fidget spinners, things that I use for my anxiety. Even have a link down below to BetterHelp. You know what? Online therapy. It's trial and error to find out what works for you. And when you find what works for you, you'd be amazed by how much easier life gets. So try it, again, whatever works for you, because you are the most important person. You're the one that matters. And you're a BAMF. You're a badass motherfucker. You made it through 100% of your worst days, make it through 2 today. And you got this.